Welcome to Sacred Conversations. My name is Mandulo, and we are here to bring back intentional living. We are here to cater to our general well being, and we have these divine conversations so that we can bridge the gap between the head and the heart space. So, what I had received, and one of the messages from today was when it doesn't make sense, go find something that makes sense. Go do something that makes sense. Sometimes when we have these experiences in our bodies, like we want to escape and we want to flee from this experience that feels on a certain level stressful, we tap deeply into the mind intellect. And when we in the mind intellect, we are so easily tuned into our patterning. We are so easily tuned into our projections of fear. And we so easily tuned into concepts, trying to conceptualize feeling versus feeling the feeling. So, on one end, it's good to have these concepts to be able to explain what it is that you are feeling. Yet, on one end, if that's all you're going to do and require or acquire book knowledge without having it embodied, then there's a serious miscommunication that happens. And so often in this path, we need to learn how to alchemize, and we have so many processes of being able to processes and tools that assist us to get back on the path again, to get back into connection, to get back into full alignment. And this is an invitation to learn together too, as to how do we alchemize, because on any path, on taking any journey, when you are traveling somewhere and you know the date, you know the time, you have set things aside in order to prepare yourself. And let's say this is like an annual trip that you do, like you go home and you know what to do. After some time, there's certain things that you need to add to that list of things that you did the last time. So it could be like, let's say you live away from your parents and you recently got married and you had been traveling alone, so the stuff and the timing, the way in which you move by yourself was different to when you were with your partner. Now with your partner, it's different. Now if you add kids into the conversation, then it becomes different tools to be able to use, right? So each time through each circumstance, there's going to be something else to add. And what happens is when we get so, because we are creatures of habit, when we get so fixated on this is what has worked, it causes uh, it causes resistance, and that resistance taps into the energy of wanting you to be safe. Okay, the body already knows and it's already communicating, and the intuition initiates the go for it, go do it without having to think. The mind negotiates, and the mind negotiates because it is thinking how, versus intuition saying the how will come as the path moves along, as you move along the path, right? So when the mind negotiates how, then it holds you back because it is trying to keep you in survival mode. So when things aren't making sense and you're cracking your head up about something and you want it to make sense now, it won't make sense up until you ground it into your body. Right? That's what the wisdom of the body teaches us, is that in order for this information to flow, in order for you to be in flow state, in fact, the head must be connected to the heart, which is in the body always. Right? So when it doesn't make sense and you find yourself on a higher stress level, and next thing you're cracking yourself about it, then you get into the escape about it, thinking that if I escape this feeling of stress, I will just have almost like a dopamine. So what I'm getting now is like you probably get like a dopamine fix, whether it's like sugar, smoking, getting something to alleviate the distraction of this resistance that you're feeling. And oftentimes when it comes to stress, when it comes to this, when it's not the mind intellect, what will happen in the body is you'll either get like head pain, headache, migraine. You will start feeling tension in your wrists and your hands. You'll start feeling a little bit more arthritic or like painful. You'll start feeling your hands want to like clench, and that will tie into like a jaw clench. And then it will also, I mean, these can go in combination and they can go separately. And then it can also go into the full back body, where the tension goes from neck down to shoulders, down to lower back. But back of heart specifically, because this is our sort of mode of connection, where there's an input and then there's an output. And how is that circulating when it comes to the information processing of, am I resisting this that I'm doing, and where can I resist less? So let's say there's a particular problem you're trying to solve, and you are in your mind intellect trying to go into your archives of what you have studied, how you have learned, picking up your experience of how do I solve this issue. Now, remember, I said earlier that when you were single versus when you were with your partner versus when you have kids, yes, you might be going the same route, but you're going to need different things along the way, right? Because there's going to be some changes that you have to accommodate. And the work that I do really shifts along being able to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. So you find pockets of comfort in the discomfort. And it makes your life a little bit easier to, you lean into the fear. Okay, I'm uncomfortable. Okay, fine. What can I make comfortable in this moment? Then you find that space. Then you learn about that space. You get to understand that space. You embody the energy that requires you to feel safe in that space. Then you move into that next thing, which requires the same process, right? So you receive information, your reaction or response, depending on your conditioning, you'll either choose to respond, or depending on your reaction, you'll either react or you will respond, of which they do have similar energy, because when you are reacting to something, there's a part of you from the conditioning that's moving out of fear. And then that response is, how do you self-regulate so that you can sift and sort out information that is true in that moment. So your response mechanism will be greatly assisted by practices that keep you grounded. Meditation, breath work, being in nature, swimming. That's being in nature. Yeah, still swimming too. Actually, you don't have to be in nature for that. Sleeping. yoga nidra, mm, a nice warm meal, delicious meal that you can enjoy, so something that keeps you grounded. Um, and go do something when the mind is too busy that gets you into your body. So use that simple tool. Life is really, really simple. It's just not as easy because we have a lot of generational curses that we have to break down. We have certain patterning from the generational curses that we have accumulated. So we are constantly unraveling bit by bit. And this is just a simple way to help you get your head back into your heart, to just say, okay, let's just go into the opposite. When I'm feeling in resistance to anything, into my mind, and I'm feeling like my mind is going on overload, that means I'm in my head. What can I do to get me into my body? So start figuring out in your own personal life, what are the things that help you to keep grounded into present moment, that can get you into your body, right? I've already mentioned mine generally is dancing, moving, practicing yoga, some sort of movement, stretching, breathing, lying down, going into nature. I said all those things before. So you got to figure out as you move through your journey of self-discovery, what works for me, and choose those simple things that are the most easiest for you in that moment. Just take a 5-minute break when you have a particular issue at hand, and you know that it's better to be able to self-regulate so you can respond in a manner that doesn't accumulate more, like adds on to that energy that is keeping you stuck within that frame. So last time again, I'll just say, when it doesn't make sense, go do something that does make sense and simplify your life and allow yourself to be in a flow state. Okay, with so much love. And please do like, share, and subscribe. And we'll just be sharing more snippets of tools, short information, and then sometimes longer discussions. Okay, love you.